Do I hear?
Sir, good morning.
Very good morning, sir. Very good morning. Am I audible?
Good morning.
Yes, you are very clearly audible.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, you can try sharing your screen.
Yeah. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, it is visible, sir. Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yes, okay.
So shall I keep like this or?
Temporarily,
Okay. Temporarily, I will stop it. No problem. That is, sir, good morning.
हॅलो जाठे सर, आवाज येतोय का? जाठे सर,
हा सर, आवाज येतोय का?
Yes, sir.
हॅलो
येतोय. Good morning, sir.
सर, आवाज येतोय का?
हो, येतोय.
हो येतोय.
हा येतोय. वेलकम सर, वेलकम.
Good morning, sir. Thank you so much.
सर, वेलकम.
Thank you, sir.
थँक्यू.
सुरू करायचं का जाठे सर?
धोटे सर झाले ना जॉईन?
नाही, कदाचित लेट होतील ते जॉईन.
प्राचार्य सरांना एकदा विचारून घ्या ना.
हो.
सर सुरू करायचं का?
झालं मी जॉईन झालो.
बरं,
हा.
छोटे सर पण आले. वेलकम सर.
Sir,
वेलकम
नमस्कार.
थँक्यू.
नमस्कार, sir.
नमस्कार.
आपला चंदन पाट सरांना विचारून घ्या एकदा सुरू करायचं.
प्रिन्सिपल सर, सुरू करायचं का?
सर जॉईन झाले आहेत.
जॉईन झाले आहेत पण अनम्युटेड. म्युटेड.
बर.
सर, माझा आवाज येतोय का? चंदन पाट सर.
बहुतेक अनम्यूट आहे सर. म्यूट आहे त्यांचं.
म्युटेड आहे पण आवाज येत असेल ना त्यांना?
हो, आवाज तर यायला पाहिजे.
चंदन पाट सर, सुरू करायचं का? इट्स ओके, आपण सुरू करूया सर.
ओके, ठीक आहे.
A warm welcome and very good morning to all participants joined in this meeting. Dear participants, we have with us several dignitaries like our expert Professor Saudagar sir, and then today's session chair Principal Dr. Deepak Dhote sir, who is Principal of Brijlal Biyani College, Amravati. Then we have our Principal Dr. Rajesh Chandan Pat with us. So we start with the Day-7 webinar now. And as you know, this was a 7-day series actually, and today is the last day. And today's expert for day 7 is Dr. P.A.Saudagar. I will briefly introduce him and then he will start with his seminar. Dr. P.A.Saudagar has done MSc in Applied Electronics, MCA, that is Master in Computer Applications. He has also cleared NET and uh, has done his PhD in the Applied Electronics under the able guidance of Dr. Dhote sir himself. He is working as assistant professor in Department of Electronics in Shiksha Mandal's Bajaj College of Science, Wardha, and it is autonomous college and a college with reputation in Wardha city. His topic today is understanding sensors uh, through developers' perspective. We know sensors are everywhere. We are having mobile handsets. There are several sensors inside it. And how come these sensors work? What is the mechanism behind these sensors? What are electronic chips that sense, and how we can program them or control them to use them for our application? So today's lecture is very interesting, and he will demonstrate us several concepts in this area. Uh, as today is last day, we also welcome the feedback from participants, oral feedbacks, as well as if you are not able to talk or you hesitate to talk, you can provide your feedback in the chat window. We will read them for all participants. If you are present your feedback in oral manner, it is very welcome. So after the question and answer session, we will have a little feedback session. So I welcome once again, Dr. Dhote as session chair and Dr. Saudagar as our today's expert. And further, I request to start Saudagar sir to his webinar. Saudagar sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Let me share the screen. And please let me know, is it visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Respected Dhote sir, shall I start with your kind permission?
Yes.
Yes. So very good morning to all. At the outset, I congratulate the management, principal and faculty members of Srimati Narsamma Hiraya Arts, Commerce and Science College, Amaravati for completing 25 glorious years in the field of academics. It's really difficult to perform at such a high level in the field of academics. But I know the college is doing very well since last 25 years. Also, I'm very much thankful to the faculty members of Department of Computer Science for giving me this opportunity to be the part of Silver Jubilee celebration of the Institute. I'm especially thankful to Professor Jathe sir and Professor Savarkar sir for giving me this opportunity and giving me some nice suggestions for designing this presentation. I'm very much grateful to my mentor and guide, respected Dr. Deepak Dhote sir, who has been the deepest stamba for all of us who are working in the field of electronics and computer science in Amravati University. He has guided so many students, not in the PhD, but in life also. So, and I'm very fortunate. I feel myself very fortunate that he is chairing this particular session. The very important point here is that, and I'm very thankful to Professor Savarkar sir for selecting this particular, for suggesting this particular topic for today's webinar. This is, in my view, the sensors are very important as far as making something, some circuit or some device alive. I think sensors are helpful for making any particular device interactive with the human being. Nowadays, we can incorporate intelligence in the non-living things with the help of sensors. And this topic, this particular presentation, I especially designed for the students of computer science, undergraduate and postgraduate students of computer science, keeping the thing in mind that we, in our education system, we have this kind of problem that a particular person is very excellent in his field or in his subject only. It's generally what happens. I, being a person of electronics, I may be good in designing the circuit. The people from the field of computer science, they may be excellent in programming. But when we think of mixing these two things, it's difficult for both ends. And I hope today's webinar would initiate it's some sort of trigger for the students of computer science to come out of that programming concept and think little bit or add some sweet to your programming with the help of sensors. I know from from the sunrise to sunset or till in the late night, everyone is surrounded with the sensors. And today we will be discussing something of that. Purposefully, I have kept this particular topic little bit simple because my topic is developer's perspective that we would be discussing, so that the students of computer science can easily understand these things. So while discussing the sensor, the very first question arises in our mind, and that is, what is sensor? I don't think that for the student of sciences, I need to explain this, but sensor is a device which provides a usable output in response to some measurand. Measurand means the quantity under test or quantity which we want to measure. There are so many terms we use for sensors. It may be, they are also called transducers, meters, detector, gauges, and all. So basically, a transducer or a sensor is a device which converts energy from one form into another form. And it produces different type of outputs. And that outputs may be optical, they may be electrical, they may be chemical, they may be mechanical. But in today's lecture, we will restrict our output to the electrical quantities only. The very basic example of a sensor is a thermometer, which knowingly or unknowingly we have already come in contact with, and that is a mercury thermometer. You might have seen with the doctors. We know that on the basis of temperature, the height of the thermometer changes. So in that case, a thermal energy is converted into in some mechanical thing, and that would change the height of the mercury. So to have that thermometer to be interacted with a digital system, we want something which should sense that height of the thermometer and convert it into convert it into a digital equivalent. Now, another question is why we need sensors. Actually, sensors everywhere. We are in need of sensors. The very first one is smart homes. Now, you might have come across so many televisions where just by touching something, you can increase the intensity of the lights. Just by automatically your lights may get turned on and off, sensing the surrounding light. The fans may speed up or it may decrease the speed on the basis of the temperature. Then the smartphones, the very good thing I like with the smartphone is that they are very close to human being. Means now it's very difficult to imagine a day without a smartphone. And in a smartphone, we are using lots of sensors. You might have seen that when you are speaking on a smartphone and when you are taking that phone to your ear, automatically display is turned off. And when you remove that phone from your ear, automatically display glows on. So this is a sensor which is creating an intelligence into the system. Another one, smart vehicles. Nowadays, you might have seen that most of the vehicles, they came with the back or rear cameras. No need to see back while taking your vehicle's reverse. On each side of your vehicles now, people have installed sensors so that you can't, your vehicle will not move. It will not touch any wall or obstacle. Some vehicles are in a position to automatically detect some objects. Now people are thinking of smart vehicles where they can automatically increase the speed, change the gears and all these are possible with the help of sensors. If you look at your homes, washing machines, automatically dirt will be sensed by your washing machine and its mechanical movement will be changed. In refrigerators, it automatically senses the temperature and automatically puts on and off. So these are the examples of intelligent controllers. And anything now, actually, all these devices, all these non-living things, they are actually waiting for the students of computer science so that they will come to them and they will develop intelligence into that. So actually, any non-living thing which you want to create intelligence into, that requires a sensors. Now we know that being a student of science, we know to learn something, we always require some basics. So for today's lecture, I have prepared some prerequisites. And I think very important point, I wish that you should focus on the first point only. Rest of the points are not so much important. The very first point is willingness to learn new things. And unfortunately, I'm very sorry to say that, but we are missing these things in new student generation. They are learning the new things, but they are not useful. They may be using, they have learned how to use mobile phones. They might have learned how to send messages. They have learned the technology, how to text fast messages. But we don't want this kind of learning. We want that you should involve yourself in getting some fruitful knowledge, which will be helpful for the society. Then the second prerequisite is willingness to become smart, to make non-living things smart. Means in today's lecture, I'm speaking in sense of today's webinar, that we want smart persons who want to use their skills of programming in making the non-living things smart. Then I want that you should develop the art of programming. We know most of the students who are working in the field of computer science have been gifted with a very nice brain. They can program a computer very nicely. But thing is that we don't know the art of programming. Generally, in art of programming, we know we have to take care of the memory space. We have to take care of the small size code so that its execution can be made fast. We should know a little bit of interfacing. So I don't think that interfacing is so much important. If you can add a SIM card to your mobile phone, if you can add battery to your remote control, if you can add a memory card to your mobile phone, I think if you can connect a charger cable to your mobile phone, if you can connect a cable to your printer, I think you know the basics of interfacing. This point I have purposefully added, and I want that nowadays it is essential that every student should be mad for learning the new technologies. We know we are lagging behind in developing the technologies. We are ahead in using the technologies, but we are lagging in designing the technology. So I want that this lecture should be a trigger to the students so that they will try to invent the new technology. They will also try to learn the new technology. And the last and very important point is to understand the need. Here, as a developer, if you wish to develop something for the society, something for your client, you should first understand the problem. See, understanding a problem gives a solution to lot many things. So understanding of problem is very important. This I have purposefully added to my presentation, and I'm really fond of this thing. See, perspective is very important. When you are thinking of sensors, don't look into its electronics. And a person from electronics will look into that. If you are thinking of sensors, so don't think of the material used. A physics person will think of that. Means perspective is very important. Means in this case, I hope you might have heard this particular story. So I want that we want to learn only the things which are associated with the programming from the sensors. We should know what kind of output I'm getting. So perspective, and purposefully, I want that you should only think of the related things of the sensors. Rest of the things you can contact some of your friends who are working in the field of electronics, some of your friends who are working in the field of physics, some of your colleagues who may be working in the field of chemical engineering. They will tell you other things, other parameters about that. But in means perspective is important. I want to use a temperature sensor. So what kind of input I would be, what I have to provide, and what type of output I would be getting from that, that is very important. So perspective is very, very important. And the second most thing which I have added this photograph or a picture in this, that I want every developer should work or should think or should dedicate like a successful pediatrician. You know what is the difference between other medical practitioner and pediatrician? Pediatrician has to sense the things, because in that case that kid cannot explain the problem. Pediatrician thinks something, he processes that information, and he takes the decision. So I want, and while working with the sensor, every developer should work like pediatrician. He will sense, he will learn the things by observing something. With the help of stethoscope, he's sensing some pulses. He's experiencing something, and he may take the decision. Likewise, while working with the sensors, if you want that I want to process sound, naturally you will require a microphone. Microphone is a sensor. You want to build something for sensing the pressure or a force, you will require the strain gauges and force sensor registers. If you want to measure the temperature, in that case, you may require thermocouple, thermistors, or integrated temperature sensors. If you want to measure distance, you might have seen that in some Ruddhi highways and now concrete highways nowadays, nobody uses that long tape. People are using a device for measuring the distance. That is actually the ultrasound lasers or ultrasound sensors or infrared lights they are using for the measurement of the distance which they have covered. Then for measurement of flow, we require Doppler or ultrasound or flow probe. For sensing of the light, we are in need of camera. For biopotential, because nowadays you might have seen in multi-specialty hospitals, every patient has been given with a particular dedicated device which sends all the potentials from your body and create some graph so that it can be helpful for the practitioner or medical experts to take some certain decisions. Likewise, we should also know that what type of output it is providing. Generally, the sensors provides two type of output, either analog or digital. If your sensor is producing analog output, it may be a voltage or it may be a current. And if it is providing a digital output, it may give you logic 0 or logic 1. Ultimately, logic 0 and logic 1 will be the voltages that we will see in the later slides. Other parameters, that what type of voltage it will require. Nowadays, all sensor manufacturing companies are producing modules of the sensors. I mean, there is no need to add your own circuit. They will add a sensor and allied circuit with that, and they are available at very cheap prices. So in other parameters, we must know that what voltage it will require, because if you are designing this particular circuit with some unit, so you will have to see whether that voltage is available with you or not. For example, if sensor is working with 15 volts and your basic circuit or a core circuit is working with 5 volts, you can't interface this, because in that case you will have to generate the source. Means other parameters like generally we don't shape our leg according to shoe. We purchase shoe according to our legs, like that, something like that. So if the output of your sensor is analog, we are in need of analog to digital conversion. I hope this basic, or everyone, every participant attending this particular webinar is aware of that computer processes only logic zeros and ones. It cannot process other information, whatever it may be, whether it is a photograph, whether it want to scan something, whether it want to print something, everything will be in the form of zeros and ones. So naturally we require a device which should convert this physical information. Most of the information which is available in our surrounding is physical in nature. For example, temperature, it is not digital in nature. It will change linearly or gradually. Pressure, something like that. So all these things, they are analog in nature, and therefore if you wish that they should be processed with a digital circuit, we are in need of ADC. And for digital type of output, if you are getting logic 0 and logic 1, in that particular case, we need a IO port. IO means input or output port. For example, if you wish to sense something, I will have to use input port. If you want to control something, naturally I will have to use the output port. For example, if I want to receive the signal from the remote control, I am in need of input port. If I want to control the speed of fan, I am in need of the output port. And other point which a developer should understand, that is the expectations. See, that understanding the need and expectation, these two things are different. Expectations means what is expected from your final product. Means meeting the need of your user is very important. And that will help us to project that product to the masses. And that is the expectation. So fulfillment of expectation is very important. So in short, I would be covering this particular 2-3 slides because this is the base of interfacing. So to connect with the physical world with a digital system, we are in need of ADC converter, that is called as analog to digital converter. And it's an electronic device which converts the analog signal into equivalent digital system. Generally, how we convert that analog signal into digital, that depends on the precision of the ADC. Precision means how huge you are producing the data. Means you may be knowing, and you might have seen that while drawing a rangoli, if that dots, 4x4 dots or 6x6 dots or 8x8 dots, they are at far distance, your picture will not be so nice. If you put that dots at very smaller distance, and if you increase the number of dots while drawing that rangoli, you'll find your picture will be more smooth. Exactly the same concept is there in precision. So usually you should use the high precision AD converters, so that what will happen most of the time, you might have seen when we purchase some low quality phones, and when we record our sound and when we play back that sound, generally it is seen that we can't recognize our sound. The quality of the sound reduces. That is only because of the resolutions. So generally what happens, if AD converter is of 12 bits, means if it is producing the 12-bit output, I hope I hope by now you might have understood that the analog to digital converter will have the analog input and it will produce a combination of binary output. That combination may be of 8-bit, that combination may be of 12-bit, that combination may be of 14 bits. So how many possibilities are there? How many combinations are there? So 2 raised to power number of bits. For example, if it is 10 bits ADC, it will produce 2 raised to power 10 means 1024 combinations. If it is 12-bit, it will produce 2 raised to power 12 means 4096 bits and so on. So high resolution ADCs are recommended for this. Another point which is important with respect to AD converter is the range. That what should be the range? It's very simple. For example, you may be knowing while using the carry bags, we generally take care of these things. In a small carry bag, we don't put huge material. Otherwise, what will happen? In the similar manner, we should know the range of ADC, that what voltages it is going to process. Another thing is that the ADC resolution, which I have already talked about. For example, if maximum voltage, input voltage for a ADC is 3.3 volts, and I'm using 12-bit ADC, so 3.3 divided by 2 raised to power 12 means 4096. That would be a smallest part of the output. So I would be getting that resolution. Okay, so resolution is a smallest quantity which is produced by the AD converter. This I have purposefully added to my presentation, that while working with ADC, a software engineer or a software programmer should understood few things. Number one, what ADC requires. So naturally, analog to digital converter, because it is analog to digital, so it should require a analog input pin. So here we have the analog input pin. Let me use spotlight so that I can explain. So here we have the analog input voltage. Then we are in need of start conversion, because voltage will be always there. What voltage you want to convert, that is very important. So start conversion pin is there. Then this ADC will require some process. There are so many methods which are used for conversion of analog signal to digital. Generally, successive approximation technique is used for analog to digital conversion because of its speed. So after conversion, it generates the end of conversion signal. So as a developer, I need to understand these things, that there will be an ADC input, means there will be an analog input. Then I will have to issue a start conversion signal to the circuit, and I will have to wait for the end of conversion signal. And until that, I will have to wait for that. As soon as I will get the end of conversion signal, I can read the data and I can process it. So this is the process for processing the ADC. In today's lecture, I would recommend all of you that every student can purchase this because it's a very unique board. I would be sharing some details about this. So in this case, this is the hardware which is developed by Arduino, which is an open source platform, and these kits are available at very low cost. You can interface anything with the help of this, and it can work with your USB, computer USB. You can directly program from USB port. So in today's demonstration, I would be using Arduino board for explanation of the sensors. So in ADC, because we are in need of analog inputs, so in this board you can see here there are some ports. There are 6 ports for analog inputs. So analog input we have to produce here. So this is a board which is based on Atmel or Atmega microcontrollers, and they are having inbuilt analog process ADC. So in case of inbuilt ADC, I will have to give the analog input here. If I'm getting digital output from some sensors, I will have to connect to the digital inputs. These are known as IO lines. So I would be explaining in detail in the later slides. And now we are starting with the sensors. The very first sensor we would be discussing is the integrated temperature sensor. Integrated temperature sensor is LM35. LM is used for national semiconductors. So LM35 is the temperature sensor. See here, I have added the picture of the product. So here it is written LM35. It is only, the sensor is having only 3 terminals. 2 out of that 2 are supply terminals and 1 is the output terminal. Here VCC, and here I am getting the ground terminal, means 5 volt. We know I'm explaining this for a computer science student who don't know what is VCC and ground. We know there are 2 terminals for a cell or a battery. So out of that, positive terminal will be connected here and negative terminal will be connected here. Generally 5 volt is connected as VCC. And V out, this particular IC will sense the temperature. See, it will itself sense the temperature, because if temperature increases, this particular its body will sense it, and accordingly it will generate the output. So if temperature is 20 volt, it will produce that much voltage, that much millivolt into 10. That will be the voltage. So in this particular case, see what, because this IC means V out is proportional to the temperature, the output of this LM35 is in terms of millivolts. This means it's an analog output. So as a developer, now I should understand that this sensor is producing analog output, and therefore its out terminal must be connected to analog input. Look at this here, blue line I have connected to analog input 0, and rest of the pins, see, because this Arduino board gives me the supply 5 volt and ground, it is available on the board. So I have connected 5 volt and the ground terminal. So see the interfacing, the way I have connected this particular sensor to this board is known as interfacing. In the similar manner, we can interface the humidity sensors. Nowadays, you might have seen, if you have gone to the metros, you might have seen at every traffic signals, they generally provide this kind of information: what is the temperature, what is humidity, and that is the water content, water vapor content in the air is known as humidity. So this humidity module, this is known as sensor module. This is also producing the output voltage, analog voltage. So if the output is analog voltage or current, we will have to give it to the analog input. So here we have connected it to the analog input. Okay, and because it requires the VC supply voltage, so supply we have taken from the board itself. So this is, in this way we can connect the humidity sensors. Nowadays, you might have seen this kind of sensors which we are using in this kind of sensors are used in mobile phones. Some short form of that. Actually, in mobile phones, we are using gyro sensors where if position can be changed. You might have seen, if you have changed the position of your mobile phone, automatically your YouTube video rotates. So that is actually the gyro sensor. In our case, I have added a tilt sensor. So you can develop a project. See, you can develop this kind of project for railways. You may be knowing that that track man, that they used to sense the tilt of the railway tracks. So So in this, see how simple principle is used here. In this particular sensor, this is a tilt sensor module. It will produce a digital output. It will produce a 0 or 1 type of output. Now see, it's very simple. When the sensor is in vertical position, the switch is on because this ball will connect these two terminals, and in this position also. But see, when it is right angle, what happens? The ball will move from the terminal, and therefore terminals will be disconnected, and therefore I will not get any voltage. This means, see, purposefully I have added this kind of sensors. The sensor, temperature sensor and the humidity sensors, which we have discussed, were producing the analog output. They were producing the, what do you mean by analog? Continuously varying signal is known as analog. And digital, that is for particular period, it will give you logic 0, that is 0 hold, and after particular time it will give you 1 hold. 0 or 1 means only 2 states. 2 is called as binary, and therefore it is known as binary. So digital output or a binary output, ultimately it's a voltage output. So when this particular device is tilted, so you can locate this particular sensor properly, so that you can identify the tilt from the road, and you can avoid the accidents. You may be knowing in Amaravati there was a technical engineering fault in the flyover of Sham Square or Rajkamal Square. Most of the accidents were there because banking of roads was not followed. So in the similar manner, you can design a device. I would be, at the end of this presentation, I would be explaining you how you can use this Arduino board to design or to design your own product for this kind of things. And you can send this particular product to railways. In this way, you can have some industry and academics contributions, and you can develop yourself also. So in tilt sensor, when the particular object will be tilted by some angle, automatically your device will indicate some signals. So in this way, we can use this tilt sensor. So because this tilt sensor is producing only logic 0 and 1, so we have not connected this green line to analog input now, because it is not producing continuously varying signals. If your sensor is producing continuously varying signals, we will have to connect its output to analog input. And if it is producing only states, 2 states, 0 or 1, we'll have to connect it to the digital input. So the programming part we will be discussing later on. Here today only we are understanding the sensors. The another one which you might have seen, and this is a very great product, you can design it for anything. You might have seen the joysticks. If you are interested in gaming, so you can design a product having a joystick. You can control this. I would recommend one product, see if you can design it. With the help of this joystick, you can you can convert the microscope of your physics laboratory into digital microscope. I hope you know, while performing the experiment in physics laboratory, we have to screw and unscrew 2 screws to focus the particular object in physics laboratory. So with the help of this joystick, you can interface that microscope with your unit, and you can change it to digital microscope. You can sell out these, you can convert all the microscope of your laboratory, and you can ask your institute to waive off your tuition fees and college fees for doing this kind of projects, isn't it? You can ask for the hardware from the college management, and you can develop the things. See how great will be the project just by moving the joystick. I hope all of you have used the joysticks. So by moving on the right side, you can change. This type of joysticks are nowadays available with the toys. Most of the Chinese toys have this kind of joysticks. By rotating the forward, rotating some particular vehicle forward or backward, We have to move that position. So see how simple is the interface. Means what we want? You want to behave like a pediatrician. He will observe the thing. See what has happened, what we have said. When this particular joysticks means these are two potentiometers actually. Potentiometers means the volume control of your televisions, the volume control of your sound or your music player or the sound system. That is, in electronics, it is known as potentiometer. It is actually a variable resistor. So if you want that this joystick should be interfaced with your digital system, we will have to understand that what kind of output it is producing. So actually this particular module produces, because it uses 10-bit resolution, something like that. So it is producing on x-axis, it is producing 0 to 1023 values, and on y-axis it is producing 0 to 1023 values. And when this particular joystick is in exactly center, its x and y coordinates will be 511 and 511. So 511 and 511 will be the coordinates. I hope all the students, they have plotted at least a single graph. We know what do you mean by coordinates. When joystick is in center, the x and y coordinates will be 511 and 511. So if you move to this particular position, see extreme left, it will be 0. When you move this x to extreme right, it will be 1023. Why this 1023? Because it is using 10-bit ADC. So we will get this kind of output. So in this way, you can interface the joystick. We will see how this is connected. So we are getting two outputs. One is x coordinate and another one is the y coordinate. So x and y, they are producing the analog outputs. And therefore, we have connected one output to A0 and one output to AY. Correct? And for producing some output signal, we have connected some digital output here. So in this way, a joystick can be interfaced. And now I will come to a very important, and I would recommend every participant to design at least a single product. You can sell this product to police department and traffic police. See, one out of this, one is the CO2 sensor, that is carbon dioxide sensor, and another one is the alcohol sensor. In carbon dioxide sensor, see here, it is producing 30 to 50 millivolts. Again, it is producing the analog output. Means I will have to connect its output to the analog input terminal. Here in alcohol sensor, we have this kind of thing. See, pin number 1 is plus 5 volt. Pin number 4 is ground. Alcohol sensor, nowadays you may be knowing, every traffic police is having one sort of device having a sensor, and they hold it near your mouth, and automatically some figures appears on the display, and they take some decisions. So that sensor, that particular device is very costly. So you can design some economical system with the help of this alcohol sensor, and you can produce you can have a products. You can start your own designing center with the help of that. Nowadays colleges are having incubation centers and all. We can come up with this kind of startup. You can develop a this alcohol sensor, and if you want to sell this product at very large quantity, sell this product to the ladies of homes, so that they can easily check the alcohol level of their husbands. So in this case, you can increase, means only different thinking is required. So in alcohol sensor, generally it produces the output on the concentration. It is proportional to the concentration of the alcohol level. If alcohol level is high, your analog output is high. If alcohol level is low, your analog output will be low. Another point which is very important, which is given in this particular sensor, is digital out. After attaining a particular level, it automatically gives you a digital output. Digital output means what? For example, After when you put some alarm, after completing that, after reaching to that particular time, that rings. When something fills, you will find that automatically there is a buzzer type of sound. So this digital out signal can be used for sensing, for taking some actions. Analog output will give you the actual uh, uh, figure which is proportional to the alcohol level. So in this way we can, because here both the outputs are coming, analog output is coming, so we would have to connect this to analog input. Digital output is coming, so we will have to connect this to IO outputs, IO inputs. Then another sensor, this is the simple interfacing of alcohol sensor. Look at this, what we have did. Two outputs, one is analog output. This is very simple. You can design this particular board just for 500 rupees. Believe me, you can design this alcohol sensor just for less than 500, I should say. It may be 499 rupees. And I hope the traffic inspector, the traffic police, which are using this alcohol sensors, that product may be more than that cost more than 5,000 rupees. So see, 10 times larger, 10 times costlier that product is. So you can start something like this. At the end of this presentation, I will give you some information regarding how to design this circuits and all. Okay. And because it is producing digital output also, so we have also connected to the digital output. See, at pin number 6, I have connected. And on the basis of this, I will have to take some certain action. For example, I want that if alcohol level is very high, this red light should on. So I have connected one LED here. So in today's lecture, we are not connecting, considering the output sensors. We are only talking of the transducers or the input sensors. And this is very important again. The very first one I have added, you may be knowing that most of the time it happens with every person who is working in the field of computer science, that he has given a print command and a pop-up message arrives saying there is no paper in a tray. See how your printers are intelligent. We having the eyes can't see the papers, but your printer is telling you that there are no printers. So I have added this 3 sensors to our presentation. The reason behind this is that they are producing the digital output. They're just producing on and off type of things. So see, the very first one is the limit switch. This actually, when you insert a paper into a printer's tray, this switch will be put off, this will be pressed, and because of this, and this is very soft, and when it would be pressed by your paper, automatically printer will understand that there are no papers or there are papers in the tray, and then it will print. I hope this is very great. See how means what you did with the help of this sensors, you have made your printer intelligent so that it can identify whether there are pages in a tray or not. Also, they can communicate with the host. They can communicate with the computer. Otherwise, what will happen? Just imagine that your printer is located at a 10th floor and you have to move to 10th floor and lift is fail. And then you came to know that there were no papers in a printer. So what will happen? So see how means the sensors are actually helping our lives to make more luxurious. The second sensor I have added is the sensor which is used in water purifiers. So I would again recommend one startup for you. You can design a water level sensors or automatic water levels controller and automatic controller for the motors for your college, so that your water tank will be automatically filled, and it would be automatically, the motor will be automatically put off when there is when the water level goes beyond certain level. So this sensor is used in water purifiers. You can use it at home. I hope nowadays you might have seen that most of the people means if their morning is at 8, for example, and if their tank filled at 7 a.m., so for that 1 hour water will be wasted. But with if you design a controller with the help of this sensor, what will happen? You can save the water, thus you can help to the community. Another one is also a water level sensor. This is some vertical type. The mounting only is changed. This is horizontal mounting is there. You might have seen, you just focus a torch into a tank of your water purifier, you will see this kind of things. So these sensors are going to produce what? These sensors are going to produce digital output, that is logic 0 or logic 1 type of output. And now I will take you to the one website where we would see how this Arduino board can be programmed. So I will stop this sharing and I will take you to one YouTube video, which will temperature sensor, so that it would help you. Is it visible? Video is visible to all of you?
It is visible, sir, but it will be half of the screen is visible.
Yes. Okay.
Now it's okay.
Now it is visible, sir?
Yes. Now it is okay.
Now is it visible?
Yes, it is now visible, sir.
Okay.
It is having audio, sir.
Sir, it's not.
Yes, sir. Okay. Audio is not coming?
Yes. It is not audible.
Physical footprint, so the pin doesn't change. So just forget about this Arduino DHML. If you have Arduino Uno, this connection works perfectly fine. Okay, so once you're ready with this connections, you can move on and write a software for getting data from this LM35 sensor. So let me start writing a code. This is the body of the code that you can get. Zumesh, and here in this video I'm going to show you how you can interface LM35, which is an analog temperature sensor, to Arduino Uno and get the data, temperature data, on your serial monitor of Arduino Uno. So basically, if you look at how this LM35 looks like, you might be having in your hand, but if not, then you can see this image in the right side of the screen. So this LM35 looks like a transistor. It has 3 legs. So the way you connect this LM35 sensor to Arduino Uno is this way, that if you take the flat surface of this LM35 sensor towards you, I mean the written something, whatever it is written, that LM35 or something 35, 36, if you keep this towards you and if you put onto the breadboard, and then you take the extreme left pin of this LM35, and that will be the VCC, and that's why the extreme left pin will connect to 5 volts of Arduino Uno. If you just follow my mouse cursor, then there is a middle line which is nothing but V out, which is the output from the sensor. So you need to connect this V out pin, that is a center pin, to A0 pin of your Arduino Uno. You can see I have connected, and it is represented by blue line. The extreme right pin, by keeping the flat surface towards you, will be your ground. So that will be represented as a black line, and it should be connected to the ground pin to Arduino Uno. Now you might be wondering that here it is written Arduino DHMela, though. So doesn't matter which Arduino you have. I mean, the Arduino DHMela and Arduino Uno has a same physical footprint, so the pin doesn't change. So just forget about this Arduino DHMela. If you have Arduino Uno, this connection works perfectly fine. Okay, so once you're ready with this connections, you can move on and write a software for getting data from this LM35 sensor. So let me start writing a code. This is the body of the code that you can get every time when you create a new sketch. So I can first define a variable, float variable called temp. This variable will be a placeholder for the data that we will be reading from this LM35 sensor. So of course the temperature is always in some decimal places, so we should give this into the float variable. Then we need a serial monitor, so I can give serial.begin to enable the serial peripheral, and I would keep the baud rate to become 9600. Okay, now in the loop function I should have to write the temperature, that is the variable which holds the data from the sensor. And as you know, this output from the sensor, the center pin, you can see if I zoom in this image, the center pin is going to A0 pin, that is the analog pin 0, because this is the analog sensor. That's why we have to connect to A0, and that's why we will write analog read. This is the built-in function from Arduino, and we can give A0, so it will read the data from A0 pin where our sensor is physically connected. Now we know that this temperature data that we will be reading is not in a degree centigrade, so we will multiply this data from the sensor by multiplying factor 0.4882 and whatever it is. Right now you might be wondering where this comes from, right? So what I can do is I will open the calculator and I will show you how I have calculated this this value. So basically your input voltage is 5 volts, so I'm going to divide this 5 volt 5 divided by 1024, because the ADCs are 10 bits, so 2 raised to 10 1024. That's how you get 0.004882 and this and that. Now this is in a millivolt, so you have to convert it into the volts. So if you multiply by 1000, then you will have this 4.8221 or something. But according to datasheet, 10 millivolt represent a 1 degree centigrade, so I'm going to divide by 10, and that's the way I get 0.4882 and this and that. And I have multiplied here with this the data that is coming from the sensor, multiplied by this, and that will give me the exact temperature. Now I want this output to be look a little bit better, so I would say serial.print. I want to print this on a serial monitor so that I can confirm whatever it is coming, is it a right or not. So I would give temperature, and then I should again say serial.print, and I will give the value, not value, the variable name which holds the temperature in degree centigrade. Then I will say serial.print. I would again do a little bit some extra lines of code which will make this code even more readable than the earlier one. So I can say star and C, that means a degree centigrade. And then I would just simply say serial.print print ln. So the next data, whenever it reads the next value, it will be printed into the new line. And then I would say delay of every second, that means 1000 milliseconds. So if I upload this sketch, then I would expect to get some data, means a degree centigrade temperature from LM35 sensor. So let me upload the sketch and see if I can get the data, that means a degree centigrade temperature data from LM35. So let me upload the sketch, and hopefully I would get the temperature. So done uploading, and I can open a serial monitor, And you can see right now the temperature is showing on my screen 28 degrees centigrade, so to say. So let me hold the temperature sensor in my hand and see if it can change. So now it's at 29. So let me hold a little tight so that the temperature will increase. You can see it's at 30 now. You can see now 31. So that way you can measure a temperature. I hope you will find this video educational and entertaining. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Okay, I hope you have understood that. Now, coming back to our presentation. This is what I have copied from that. This is what they have mentioned. And this is the output. And now, coming to the end of this presentation, I have some recommendations. Actually, I have these recommendations to the respected faculty participants. The very first thing is that we want that we should start something different for a student. So for that, I would recommend a spoken tutorial online course which is free of cost for the students. So you can ask the students to complete this course within 10 to 15 days. This is a website, spoken tutorial. If you type just a spoken tutorial in Google, it will take you to this, or otherwise what I will do, I will take you to that particular website. I will take you to the Safari, share, and what this? This one. Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, this is a Arduino course on the spoken tutorial site. Watching this videos
Sir, this
are totally free.
Enabled. Screen is
Only
not visible, sir. Actually,
not visible. Okay, let me once again start this. Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible now.
Yes.
Yeah. This is the home page of Arduino course on the spoken tutorial. See, there are only 20 videos, I think. Everyone can understand this. See, most of the students from commerce field also did this. So I want that faculty members especially of computer sciences, they should give this as an assignment to the students so that they will learn they will watch these videos. These are very simple, because we know that students of undergraduate student and postgraduate student of computer science, they know C and CPP. This requires only C and CPP. So what will happen? They will get some skillful knowledge out of that, and then we can ask them to buy this particular product. See the cost of this particular product. When this product is just available for 300, or with cable it is available for 425. I have copied this picture from a very popular search engine. You just type Arduino, you will find this. And you would be very surprised that you can build an independent system. Remember, I'm saying independent system, no need of computer. Only this product you have to install wherever you want to install that sensors. If you want to if you want intelligent water controller for the water tanks of your college, it can be easily made with the help of this board. Means hardly within 1000 rupees, you can develop any sensor, any intelligent controller with the help of Arduino. So what I would recommend to the honorable faculty members, can we not invest this kind of things for the betterment of the students? I would recommend that instead, for next time, while asking the principal and management of your institute, asking for one computer, you please ask for such kind of boards. You ask less, -1 computer. You ask for this kind of boards. Because your student, I know your students are very good, very excellent in programming. So we can initiate, and nowadays, because of and since last year during this pandemic, we have understood that what type of information is available on the web and how it's easy to access it. The another recommendation is that I would recommend all of you to visit this Arduino site. Here, details of hardwares are available, and I have in the beginning I have mentioned that as Arduino is the open source, this its development or it is IDE is available free of cost. Anybody can use it, anybody can modify it. So from the Arduino side, we can download the software, just what we have seen in the in one video. That person was programming in particular IDE. That IDE is totally free of cost, and the whole program can be uploaded into this particular device, and that can be used. So this is an assignment for all the participants of this webinar, that if you could invest 325 or about 500 rupees, because I know you can program in C language very nicely. You have to purchase a temperature sensor LM35, which is available just for 10 rupees. And you interface that and you design a temperature sensor for your college, for your department. You design a humidity sensor for your department. At least a person, external person, when he enters in your department, your professors, your faculty members will proudly, they can say that this is designed by my student. So instead of giving some other kind of assignments for all the participants, I'm giving you this kind of assignments, and that will be a great return to me. So if you have any questions, Professor Savarkar sir, if you have got some questions, we can discuss. Or any difficulty from the faculty members or from the participants of this webinar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for very nicely presenting the things related to sensor, the hands-on demo, and all the things you have explained us in detail. Participants are now requested to raise any queries if they have. They can talk it orally by unmuting themselves one by one, or they can have the queries in the chat box also. So the session is open for queries now. Queries, please.
If they don't have any questions now, they can send me their questions on this two platforms. They can send me the mails, or they can send me their queries on WhatsApp. They can send me some text messages, no issues. Even if they are thinking of starting some projects, I would be happy to help you in this regard. And because being slightly inclined towards electronics, I may not be helpful for the programming too much, but I can give you some hints.
Sir, one question from myself.
Yes, sir.
Sir, through mobile phone we can start the water machine.
Okay.
So question is related to agriculture. So
yeah, I understood.
How work it going on?
Yes, sir. Nowadays, see what? Nowadays, some modules are available which works on Wi-Fi. You might have seen there is one advertisement regarding some, I think, Lloyd's AC or Videocon AC, for example. I'm not exactly, I could not recall the manufacturer, but from the car you can put your AC on with the help of mobile phone. There are some smart lights which can be put on or off from remote places. People are using nowadays, and they are just available for 500 rupees. So that module will require a Wi-Fi naturally, and it's very obvious that if you wish to control something from the mobile phone, you may require a wireless connection. So in agriculture, we need to have some sort of a Wi-Fi connection. You can have a 1500 rupees phone from a very popular service provider nowadays. You can install in the farm, and motor you can connect to that, and we can design it. See, the products which are available in the market are very costly. Rather, I would recommend a very economical product. You buy a smart light controller, which is just available for 495 rupees. And then we will convert that light controller to control motor in your farm. So hardly we can build this project for 200 rupees. Hardware I'm talking, if Wi-Fi connections are available. So that is possible, sir. That is possible, and I hope in that case farmer can control their water machines even from Delhi. Even from Delhi border, they can have a control on their farms.
Thank you.
I hope this finds your solution, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
if we are using external sensor, for example temperature, and in our mobile there is a inbuilt sensor of temperature.
Okay.
So while comparing external sensor with internal sensor, is there any variance between accuracy?
See, the accuracy part depends on the sensor, the quality of the sensors which is used in your mobile phone. Actually, why internal sensors are not recommended, sir? Because you can't project your mobile phone to high temperatures, na?
Okay.
And therefore, we will have to use the external sensors. If you want to monitor something which is in the close vicinity, then using of mobile phone is good. There is no issue. But if you want to monitor the temperature of the ground, playground, for example, so in that case, you can't project your mobile phone to playground. Within 5 minutes, it will be off. Isn't it? You may have to lodge a complaint. So external sensors, because these sensors are just provided in the mobile phone to just give an idea that in what surrounding you are working. They cannot be used for controlling purposes. I hope, Deshpande sir, you find this.
Okay, sir.
The sensors which are provided in our mobile phones are for just an idea or giving the values of our surrounding, giving an idea about our surrounding. But if you want to control something, we will have to use the external sensors.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
May I ask a question, please? Hello.
Yeah, sure. You are audible. You just proceed.
See, I'm wearing this. I have been wearing this smartwatch.
Okay.
And somewhere I read that these LED sensors they have at the back of the watch.
Yeah.
And so these LED sensors, they are continuously on.
Okay.
And I'm wearing this almost for say 12 to 13 hours.
Okay. Okay.
And sometimes 10 hours at a stretch. So my question is it harmful in long term?
No,
exposure of the LED light sensors.
No. Actually, what happens? Because you are wearing that watch, Actually, that LED light is not for sensing the temperature.
Okay.
Actually, it is for getting other parameters like blood pressure and pulse information from your body.
Okay.
Means that is totally depends on the that values are taken from the intensity and intensity from the blood.
Okay.
So naturally, to get these values, because you are wearing it, there will be a darkness. So we will have to project some sort of light.
Okay.
But because the authorities and technical societies have approved this, I don't think that it would be harmful.
Okay. So
And that is, it's not continuous answer. It is after particular time. It means when that depends on the frequency of the sensors. That how frequently that values has been tracked.
So I guess I don't have to be extra worried about
No,
this.
don't worry, sir. Don't worry. You just take care of the values of the shown by its wristwatch.
Yeah.
Not
Yes,
not by its
thank
effect.
You, thank you.
Yeah,
thank
most
you so
welcome.
much, sir. Thank you.
Any more questions, students? If there are no questions, then
okay, sir. Then I will stop the share so that I can view everyone.
So we conclude the question answer session here, and further I request our session chair, Dr. D.S. Dhote sir, to conclude this session with his concluding remarks for the session. Dhote sir, please.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, just okay. Please forgive me for any mistake if I had done in my presentation.
At an infancy, I must congratulate the college authorities, specifically the principal of the college, my friend Dr. Chandan Pat, head of the Department of Computer Science, Dr. Zake, Professor Savarkar, and all faculty members of the Arts, Commerce, Science College, Kiranagar, as they are celebrating the Silver Jubilee this year, that is 25th year of their college. Secondly, I must congratulate specifically to the Department of Computer Science that they have arranged such a nice series of webinars, a good fish for the students on different topics. Today, I have chaired this session, which is delivered by one of my PhD students, Mr. P.A.Saudagar, Dr. P.A.Saudagar, understanding of sensors and developers' perspective. So he has nicely explained the developer's perspective. I always openly tell to the people that I have learned many things from my students also, though I am teacher of them. So Saudagar is one of them. I also learn lessons from students also. That is a different thing. So he's a bright student and a bright faculty working in the JB Science College, Wardha. See,
you are not clearly audible, sir.
Now audible? Hello?
You are audible to me, sir.
Yeah. So, dear students, the topic is very important. It has nicely explained what is sensor, what are different types of sensor. The faculty, Dr. Saudagar, who has delivered this topic, himself has worked a lot on the sensors while doing his PhD. He has developed the greenhouse technology sensors and how to develop the growth of the plants with the different sensing techniques. He has nicely explained that is what is sensor. It is basically to incorporate the intelligence among the non-living things, or we can say to enhance the intelligence of the living things also in the future. So nowadays everything is becoming smart because of these sensors. So sensors has a very important role in our life now. As we are passing through the great pandemic of coronavirus, still it is not over. We are living with the coronavirus, and we often talk about the social distancing, that we should maintain the social distancing till there is a coronavirus. So if any student want to develop, if he has or she has picked up something from this lecture, that how to develop a sensor from using an Arduino kit. So one may have idea that to maintain a social distance, I will develop such a sensor, such a system using a sensor that will automatically give us the buzzer when I will come in contact with the person within the limit of 1 meter or 3, say some feet. So that idea we can develop with these sensors also. Nowadays, we see that in hospitals, everything is diagnosis is done using the medical devices only. So that medical devices which sense the body electrical signals, that all uses the sensors. So there are lot of opportunities to the computing students or electronic students, that they may use the sensor and try to develop some system using these sensors. So Dr. Saudagar has nicely explained the developer's perspective. He has put before you one video which has nicely explained the case study, how we can interface the sensor, how we can make the programming for that. So if the computing student little bit give their intention towards the hardware, they can definitely go for a good systems and they can have a bright future. They can start a startup and they can do the business lot of in this field. Now the students, I must tell you one thing, that there is a national policy on electronics formulated by the central government in the year 2015. So in that policy, the government expressed that there should be a lot of chip production, hardware production in India. They want to. So you must also go through this national policy of electronics. Finally, I will give the concluding remarks that whatever recommendations are given by Dr. Saudagar, that the institute and particularly the Department of Computer Science should accept and try to give the small projects to the student, so that the institute will be get benefited and the society will be also get benefited from this project. So nothing is there more to speak before you. I am very thankful to Dr. Saudagar for studying hard for this type of lecture. One sentence he has mentioned in his speech, that willingness to learn the things, that is very important. Every time we should try to learn some new things. And if you are having willingness toward the new things, definitely you can do hard work for that. You can dedicatedly try to complete that work. So with these best wishes, I remain here and I conclude myself. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now I would request Karmore ma'am to present the vote of thanks for the session.
Thank you, sir. Very good noon, everyone. I am Professor Bhavna Karmore. On behalf of Srimati Narsamma Hiraya Education Trust and Department of Computer Science team, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our today's speaker, Dr. P.A.Saudagar sir, for visiting and enlightening us with their knowledge. As so far we have only heard that sensor used in an electronic device. We didn't know much more about the sensor, but the Saudagar sir tells us what exactly the sensor. Today's lecture was full of knowledge and interesting things. It gives deep insight into the topic and also reveals some interesting facts about the sensor. I am pretty sure the precious knowledge that Saudagar sir gave us will definitely help us in future. Once again, I would like to thank Dr. Saudagar sir for taking out time from their busy schedule and enlightening us with the knowledge. Thank you so much, sir. I would also like to thank today's session chair, Professor Dr. D.S. Dhote sir. Sir has given idea about how to build a live project in future by using a sensor. Also, thank you to all the participants present here for paying your attention and learning. I would end my speech here. Thank you so much, sir. And I hand over next program to the Savarkar sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, as this is the last day of our webinar series, we are concluding our series today, and so we are having a valedictory function now. It will last 20 minutes only. So I welcome all the guests to this valedictory function. We have in this function our principal, Dr. Chandan Pat sir. He will preside over the function. I would request Dr. Deepak Dhote sir to accept the guest of honor for this valedictory function. I would also request our IQAC coordinator, Dr. Nakul Gawande, to accept the seat of guest, chief guest for this function. And now I request our IQAC coordinator, Nakul Gawande sir, to interact with us on account of this valedictory function. Is Dr. Nakul Gawande?
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. You are clearly audible.
Thank you. The president of the valedictory function, our principal, Dr. Rajesh Chandanpat, sir. Excuse me. Chief guest for this valedictory function, principal Dr. Dhote, sir. All the participants. It's been a power-packed week for computer science department, and the webinar series, which was organized on the occasion of Silver Jubilee celebration of this college. I'm sure that it has been a great success because I myself took out some moments and listened to some of the lectures, especially the yesterday's lecture. I was thrilled to listen to some of the things in the lecture, even though I am a novice to computer science and the related technology. But apart from the knowledge shown by the various speakers, I was thrilled and I was surprised by the kind of passion and fire they put into their speeches. It's been a welcome change. All the time we are used to hearing the experts with wooden faces, okay? But these experts, all these experts, they had fire, they had passion on their faces, including Dr. Saudagar sir, which I had this opportunity to listen to him and ask one of the questions that has been nagging in my mind, and I thank him for answering the question to me. I hope that participants will take home not only the tidbits of knowledge they have gathered here during this webinar series, but I hope that they'll take home this passion and this fire for the knowledge, for the area of the expertise that the students have been working with and the faculties have been working with. I once again congratulate the Department of Computer Science, the head, my friend, Professor Jathe sir, the organizing secretary of this webinar series, Professor Savarkar sir, Professor Karmore madam, and all the other colleagues. I thank them for giving me this opportunity to be here on this valedictory. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gawande sir. Thank you very much. Our guest of honor for today's valedictory function is Dr. T.S. Thote. Uh, he has been on the various authorities of the university, and he is a very known person in the academic fraternity of Amravati University as well as the state of Maharashtra also. He has been a member board of studies, chairman board of studies electronics. He has been a member of academic council. He has been the dean of science faculty, and also he has been a member of management council of Amravati University. He has always tried for the betterment of the students and teachers working in this fraternity. So it is a very popular personality today available to us for this valedictory function. May I request now Dr. Thote sir to guide us on this occasion. Thote sir, please.
Thank you, sir. Chairman of this valedictory function of this webinar series, my friend and principal of Arts, Commerce, Science College, Kiranagar, Dr. Chandan Pat, head of the Department of Computer Science, Dr. Gathe, Professor Savarkar, IQC coordinator, Dr. Nakul Gawande, and faculty members of the Computer Science Department and all faculty members of the college and students participants in this webinar series. It is indeed pleasure for me to be here with you for this valedictory function. It was a great feast for the students. See, naturally we see for some occasion, and you have now in this year a good occasion that you are celebrating your silver jubilee of the college. Most of the faculty members who are present for this webinar, they are joined this college since the beginning of the college. They have seen, they have witnessed the developing aspects of the college. Rather, they have done hard work to develop and to take a college at some height. Now, I am very happy that this is a good idea that one department on the occasion of the silver jubilee thinks about some series and try to overcome whatever is the uncertain situation is there, that is due to the coronavirus. So they have not put hand to hand, but they have moved forward to go for a webinar series and given a good feast for the students since last 7 days. So I once again congratulate to all of you. See, whatever is the new that we should take to our students, and if we take that new things to our students, the students should take away from that whatever is presented before them by the college or the faculty members. So I am very happy the college is doing efforts in this direction. Now, being a IQAC, that IQAC has to take some quality initiative. I feel that this is the most important quality initiative. May this will be a value addition for the next cycle accreditation. But your IQAC is doing new thing always and giving the new thing for the students and the faculty members. Now, I always tell that there should be a reforms in the academics. Now, whenever there is a new policy from the government of India, new policy from the government of Maharashtra, I think that we should play the proactive role in that. We shouldn't wait that whenever the policy will be implemented by some other college, by some other department. Every department, every faculty member, every principal of the college should take the pioneer proactive role in implementing whatever is new there from the government of India or University Grants Commission. Fortunately, your college goes on the same path. Therefore, once again, you are deserve for the congratulations. So as this is the validity function, I suggest here that, and my recommendations will be that during your this silver jubilee year, because very in near future, near days, you are going to face the third cycle of NAC, I think. So there will be a lot of pressure on the faculty members and the principal also for the coming visit of the NAC. So after the visit of the NAC, you may organize different programs in the silver jubilee year for the students and even for the colleges in the jurisdiction of our university area. Once again, I am very thankful to the organizers for giving me opportunity to be here with you as a guest of honor in this validity function. Thank you. Thanks to all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now I would request our principal, Dr. R.S. Chandanpat, sir, to have its presidential talk for the function. Principal, sir, please. तुमचा आवाज येत नाहीये सर.
सर आहेत का? पण सरांना फोन लावून बघा. सर कॉलेजमध्येच आहे, सरांना फोन करा मला वाटतं.
सर आहेत ना, मीटिंग मध्ये आहेत सर.
अच्छा.
सरांचा माईक अनम्यूट करावा लागेल, सांगावं लागेल. म्यूट आहे सरांचा.
तो बाहेरचा आवाज येत होता, त्याच्यामुळे त्यांनी म्यूट केला.
बोलतही आहेत.
कारमोरे मॅडम, तुमचा माईक म्यूट करा, अनम्यूट करा.
हॅलो.
Still his mic is mute.
I have sent our assistant to him.
Okay. So we'll have to wait. Sir, meanwhile, may I suggest you something? It's regarding the feedback form which you have given.
Yes,
in the feedback form, the marking scheme is order. Okay, it's one ascending order, 1 for lowest response and 10 for highest response. Is it? Am I correct?
Yes.
Am I correct, sir?
There is one question, 1 mark for each question actually.
No.
Feedback. Are you talking about the test or feedback?
No. Talking about the feedback.
Yes.
How good ranking is in ascending order or descending order?
Hello.
The points, the points that we give.
Karmore madam, please explain on this issue.
आवाज येत आहे का माझा?
हो
सर येतो आहे. सर
हॅलो, बोलू का?
हा बोला सर.
So today 7th February 2021 warm welcome today's chief guest Dr. Deepakji Dhote sir, our friend, Dr. Saudagar, our IKC coordinator Dr. Nakulji Gawande, computer department HOD Professor Date sir, co-convener Professor Savarkar sir, PG department Deshpande sir, Karmore madam. Last 7 days we are get the knowledge from the computer department, which is useful for the everyone. Different type of eminent speaker we listen them. Dr. Dhuare, Professor Zambekar, Professor Lokande, Professor Kishore, Professor Bhoer, Professor Parag Kauri, and today most important and valuable information given by the Dr. Saudagar. Secondly, when two person, which is guide of the student and student who is researcher, come to on the occasion of last program, that is glad list. We are welcome to both of Dr. Dhote sir and Saudagar sir. Totally, we are suffering different type of knowledge. We are taken the knowledge, from the other view, which is useful for the mankind and which is useful for our country. Computer department occasionally our college to 20 to 21 is our silver jubilee year of the college Srimati Narsamma Arts, Commerce and Science College, Kiranagar. We are proud to be celebrating the silver jubilee program in a different way. So many programs arranged by the various aspects of the different department of our college, mathematics, then hello, आवाज येतोय का? Botany department and various programs we arrange in this year. That is proudful for us because we are celebrating the silver jubilee year. ज्ञानाने ज्ञान विकसित होते असं म्हटलं जाते, कारण की ज्ञान देणारे आणि ज्ञान घेणारे हे जर विद्यार्थी असतील तर त्या विद्यार्थ्यांच्या माध्यमातून आपण जगाला देशाला पुढे नेण्याचा प्रयत्न आपण करायला पाहिजे. आज सौदागर सरांनी खूप चांगल्या प्रकारे वेगवेगळे डिव्हाइस आपण कशा प्रकारे वापरू शकतो कॉलेजमध्ये विद्यार्थ्यांना त्या प्रकारचे प्रोजेक्ट जर दिले तर विद्यार्थी सुद्धा नॉलेजनी डेव्हलप होतील अशी त्यांनी इच्छा व्यक्त केली. सर, आमच्या कॉलेजला त्या पद्धतीचे भविष्यातही चांगल्या प्रकारचे आम्ही प्रोजेक्ट देऊ आणि सोबतच विद्यार्थ्यांचा ज्ञानात्मक विकास करण्याचा आम्ही प्रयत्न करू. आज व्हॅलिडेटरी प्रोग्राम आहे, आपण सगळे या प्रोग्राम मध्ये सहभागी झालात आणि आतापर्यंत जे एक्सपर्ट डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ कम्प्युटरनी बोलावलेत वेबिनारच्या माध्यमातून 7 डेजचा हा जो कार्यक्रम आहे हा चांगल्या प्रकारे साजरा करण्यात आला. मी त्यांचं अभिनंदन करतो आणि ज्या ज्या एक्सपर्ट टॉकसाठी आमच्याकडे ज्यांनी माहिती दिली त्या सगळ्यांचं मी महाविद्यालयाच्या वतीने आभार मानतो आणि माझ्यातर्फे सगळ्यांचं अभिनंदन करतो. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र. सध्या मी महाविद्यालयातच आहे, कार्यक्रम चालू आहे, त्यामुळे थोडासा घाईत होतो, नंतर इथे जॉईन झालो. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच.
Thank you, sir. There are some instructions for participants. Today, at the end of week, we are having a test, and I have posted the link for that objective MCQ type test on the WhatsApp groups and chat boxes of the YouTube session and Zoom session also. So the participants are requested to solve the questions and submit the form. Write your information in this form in the most correct manner as it is going to be included in the certificate directly. Anything if goes wrong, it will also goes wrong on the certificate. So submit it carefully. Also, the feedback form has been posted on WhatsApp as well as in both of the sessions. So participants are requested to fill it carefully and submit it to us. We will be distributing the e-certificates of such participants within a week. The certificates will be mailed on your email IDs. So mention your email IDs in a correct manner. Now I would like to ask our HOD, Professor Narendra Gathe, for a vote of thanks for this valedictory function. Over to Narendra Gathe, sir.
Thank you, Savarkar sir. Hello, good morning, everyone. Sorry, good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Narendra Gathe, Computer Science Department of Srimati Narsamma Art, Commerce and Science College, Amravati, organizing expert talk webinar series in computer science on the occasion of Silver Jubilee year celebration of the Institute for teaching UG and PG students in computer science. On behalf of Srimati Narsamma Hiraya Education Trust, Art, Commerce and Science College, IQAC and Department of Computer Science team, and on my own behalf, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our chief guest of valedictory function, Honorable Dr. D.S. Dote sir, Principal, Brijlal Biani Science College, Amravati, for visiting and enlightening us with their knowledge. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our chief guest of valedictory session, Dr. Nakul Gawande sir. He is IQAC coordinator, Srimati Narsamma Art, Commerce and Science College, Amravati, for taking out time from their busy schedule and enlightening us with the knowledge. Thank you, sir. Again, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our president of this valedictory function, Honorable Dr. Rajesh Chandan Pat, Principal, Srimati Narsamma Art, Commerce and Science College, Amravati, for giving permission to organize and conduct such expert talk webinar series 2021 in computer science on the occasion of Silver Jubilee year celebration of the Institute for Teacher, UG and PG students in computer science. Sir, we appreciate your remark and look forward to have such session with you. Thank you, sir. Without team, such event is not possible. So I would like to thank co-convener of this event, Professor C.S. Savarkar sir and Dr. Dinesh Satangil sir, for inviting expert persons, concluding session chair members, preparing minutes to minute schedule and posting day-to-day schedule for the participant. Again, I would like to thank our postgraduate team members, Professor Swapnil Deshpande, Dr. Bhavna Karmure Madam, Professor Aishwarya Gurve Madam, Professor Jaykumar Meshram, and non-teaching members Shantanu Gunde and Rakshit Khaniwal for preparing registration link, Google form, MCQ, then certificates and maintaining attendance. Thank you all members. Finally, without participants, such event is not possible. So I would like to thank all the dear participants for attending the session. This will definitely add a value to your knowledge. Thank you. Now, with the permission of Honorable Chief Guest, Principal, and IQAC Coordinator, we are ending today's valedictory session. Have a nice day. Thank you. Thank you very much.